it's kind of led me to having a little bit of an epiphany about my attitude about finances and how minimalism links into that, and how my mindset has kind of changed a little bit.
We touch, we break, make it seem like we feel the same. We love what we hate. We lie, but we know we can't water what doesn't grow. Give up, let it go. Well, we fell apart just in time. You say at least it was worth the try. At least it was worth the try. At least it was worth the try. I drive from your place, miss your lips, but I hate the taste. No fun in this game. I will call our bluff, 'cause using bodies isn't good enough. Slow down, this ain't love. Well, we fell apart just in time. Ooh, you say at least it was worth the try. At least it was worth the try. At least it was worth the try. We keep playing games, can't go separate ways. Break up all the same. We keep playing games, can't go separate ways. Break up all the same. Well, we fell apart just in time. Ooh, you say at least it was worth the try. At least it was worth the try. At least it was worth the try.
Okay, we all just had a nap. Nick's at work today, and that beach trip that I did this morning was so amazing. So that's where we used to live. We're about 20 minutes from there now. That's the nearest beach. Oh, that was a good burp. And I used to go there every single morning, and now because we're like a 20-minute drive away, it's too far to go there every morning. But twice this week, that's the second time this week, I've just driven there by myself and left the kids, both kids at home with Nick, and gone for a swim by myself. And it's just amazing because we go to the beach all the time, like just me and the kids, and we go on Nick's days off. But you know, I can't have a proper swim obviously with Ocean, and it was so amazing to have that time. And it's kind of the second time, those two trips this week, they've been the only times that I've left Ocean for longer than about 5 minutes. Like, she's usually just with me everywhere because she's breastfeeding all the time, and I want to be close to her, she wants to be close to me, so it was really nice to have that time. And Romeo is still having a nap. He usually doesn't have naps, he's just a little bit tired today. Hey, you just wake up, didn't you? And I just wanted to talk about something that has been happening for the past few months, and I've kind of had, it's kind of led me to having a little bit of an epiphany about my attitude about finances and how minimalism links into that, and how my mindset has kind of changed a little bit compared to what it was previously when it comes to minimalism and finances, and just my views around that. And it's been really, really affecting us. So I'm still a minimalist. I still absolutely love minimalism. I still feel really, really passionate about living simply. But basically in the last year, Nick has had 2 different jobs, and he's now starting, so he's starting a 3rd job on Monday, which is so wonderful, and you'll hear more about that soon. But basically, the past few months, so he's had 2 different jobs this year, and one of them he was basically forced to leave because the company were not doing well financially, and they actually could not afford to keep paying him to work there, and they did not go about this in even the most decent, they didn't go about it in a decent way at all. And it was really stressful and really sudden for him, and he had to find another job, okay Bubba, really, really quickly. And what he was earning, because he's currently earning all of the income for all of us, and so he found a job straight away, and we're so grateful to the people that gave him that job. But it wasn't long term, it was not enough for us to live on, to be able to pay for everything that we need. And as you guys know, we live really minimally. We do not buy stuff that we don't need, and when we do, it's because we purchase things that bring value to our life. And he kept applying for jobs, and he has been applying for jobs for the past few months. The job that he took not only wasn't enough money to long term to live on to pay for everything that we needed to, and the job that he had to take very quickly, he basically had to drive to Brisbane every day, which is about a 45-minute drive, and it was costing us so much money. And so it was essentially the money that would be kind of a little bit surplus for us to put aside to pay for things that we needed to, was just being completely taken up. And so when you add that up over the months that he worked there, it just really took its toll on our finances, and we literally got to the point where we were actually unable to pay for some of our bills. And so it just really started taking its toll. He was also working a second job, which was doing gigs for a photo booth. So he was working in a shop, that's what he was doing. He was also doing a second job, which was basically, he was taking as many gigs as he could, where he was doing a photo booth, setting up a photo booth for functions, and just being at the photo booth and showing people how to use that. And that was bringing in some secondary income, but it meant that he was working another night per week. Some weeks he would do 2 gigs, and he would take every extra hour that he could. He had really split days off. His schedule was all over the place because the people he was working for didn't seem to be organized with any sort of work schedule, and they would literally tell him which days he was working. You know, on like the Sunday, they'd be like, oh yeah, you're working tomorrow, and so I wouldn't be able to plan things really easily, which really takes its toll on me, because for any homeschoolers out there, our planning is everything. I mean, we go out to the beach and stuff as often as we can, but we obviously want Romeo to spend as much time as he can with other children and connecting with other people. And generally, it's really important for me as well to have 2 family days off, so that I can have some time to myself. You know, I need to have balance for me as well. And not being able to plan those days was just driving us nuts. They were also really inconsistent with paying Nick on the same day. I was not able to plan even things like groceries and stuff like this, because we were living paycheck to paycheck, and it just honestly really took its toll. Like the whole just worrying so much about when we were going to pay for this and when we were going to pay for that, because we've lived pretty minimally the last few years, but we've never been in a position where we have ever had to worry about paying bills ever, and you know, being able to purchase what we need. And it was really stressful, and it really took its toll. And Nick was working so many hours a week, and he was also spending up to basically about 2 hours a day driving and using up all of that petrol. It just drove us crazy, because we felt like Nick was working so many hours, but there was literally no payoff, because at the end of every week all of the money would be gone from just covering bills. And oh my gosh, you guys, it's been really tough. And I just wanted to open up about this. The reason that I feel that I really kind of haven't talked about this very much before, because I haven't really even talked about this on our Instagram, is that I kind of like getting through something before kind of opening up and talking about it. Nick starts his new job now, and he's starting it on Monday, so it's only, what, 3 days away. So next week there will be surplus for the first time in a very long time. In the new job, he's basically, we're going to be totally fine. Like, we're going to be able to live really comfortably, because he's going to be able to sell his car, because they're giving him a work car. So we're going to get a little bit of money from selling his car, but we also won't have to pay for petrol. So we're going to be actually able to live comfortably. And I have so many financial plans for this year. The reason that I wanted to talk about this is because the last few years for me have been really about downsizing and minimizing and living on, I guess, as small an amount of money as we could comfortably. And so when I started downsizing and simplifying and minimizing, and which I still feel so strongly about, and so grateful that I stumbled across minimalism, I started associating earning a lot of money with everything negative. I didn't really have any positive associations with earning lots of money, because the only position that I'd ever been in earning lots of money was when we had been in such a terrible, huge amount of debt, and we were just so weighed down by it. And we also were, I felt really weighed down by our stuff as well. And so since then I've kind of just thought, like, the solution to any financial problem was just spend less. And so I've been doing that the last few years, and it's honestly been incredible. And I highly recommend doing it to anyone that is, I guess, in a position where you're not really sure where all of your money is going to. It's such a great way to simplify your finances. And I got to the point where I had to stop and acknowledge that the solution was that I had to change my view on finances, on what abundance meant, and that the solution for us in this situation was actually that we had to earn more money, and we had to start making friends with the idea that lots of money is good. Because I think we'd kind of had this mindset that, like, it's bad to have lots of money, and that I definitely had anyway. And I had only associated the idea of having lots of money with kind of being weighed down by that. And so I guess what I realized is that I had very preconditioned ideas on, you know, minimal spending, and we're not gonna start being like, you know, wasting our money for sure. Like, we're still very much minimalists, and we still really love living simply, and we still really love spending in a really conscious manner. But I want to feel comfortable with the idea of enjoying abundance on things that bring us value. And the thing that I realized as well is that I realized that I have had really limited views on the ways that I can earn income, because it's gotten to a point where it's really a desire. I have a huge desire to be financially independent and bring in my own income, and I've been working on that for the past 2 years, and just all of the ways that I can do that. And so I've been building and creating lots of really solid plans for how I can earn money while being at home, homeschooling my children, and continue this very relaxed lifestyle and be able to do that as well as look after my children and homeschool them and give them the life that suits us so well, you know, going out into nature and just enjoying being outdoors as much as possible. And so I won't talk about the specifics here because I really just want to keep that to myself at the moment and just allow that to unfold this year. But I have a really good feeling about this year, and I have really big plans to really manifest financial abundance and really enjoy that. Thank you for sticking to the end if you did. I really appreciate your support. But I'm still breastfeeding, by the way. In fact, she's actually gone back to sleep. She's tired. But I hope that you enjoyed watching this and getting to know a different side of my life, and I really appreciate you guys being on this platform with me, and I'd really like to show more videos like this of the sides of my life that involve struggle and challenges. So thank you for watching, and if you liked this style of video, comment down below, and I hope you guys had a really great New Year's celebration. 2019 is going to be a really wonderful year. I love you guys.